Hello students. So as we discussed earlier about all the input tags and the controls, right? There are lots of input controls we learned. Mm, for example, we learn about the color, number, URL, date, email, month, range, date, time, local, time, week, search, file, telephone, and IMG, right? So हम just we revised all those controls one more time. First one is the color, right? Color picker means what? Using that we can select the color. Next is the number, where you have to enter only the number and you have to set the minimum and maximum. You can set, but you have to set the, or you can set the minimum or maximum value, so means you can set the range. Next is the URL, in that you have to give the proper URL, or you have to provide the URL. Next is the date. Here you can manually enter the date, as well as you can also select the date from the calendar. Next is the email, where you can enter a proper email ID. Next is the month, where you can enter month and year, right? You can manually enter, or you can select from the calendar. Next is the range, where you set the range, and volume range you can set, right? We already discussed. Next is the date, time, local, where you set date as well as the time, right? Next is the time, where you set only the time. Next is the week, where you can select the week of the year, which week is this, right? For example, here we set the 15th week of the 2020, right? Next is the search, where you can select, where you can search anything, right? Next is the file, where you can select a file, and phone number, and here you can set the pattern also, which type of phone number you have to enter or user can enter. Next is the IMG, right? This IMG is different from the IMG tag. This image, input type equal to image, is different from the IMG tag. IMG tag is totally different. It sets the image, and in that input type image, here you can use that image as a input button, right? Next input restrictions, right? First one is the disabled attribute. Here the control is set as a disabled, means user cannot enter in that control where we set this attribute, right? Next is the min max attribute, which we already discussed and which we used already used in our programs. And here you can set the minimum and maximum value. Next is the input is restrictions. Next is the pattern attribute, where you can set pattern, which type of data user have to select, you can mention here in the pattern attribute. Next is the read only attribute, where user cannot edit or change the value of that text, right? It's called the read only attribute, means that control will be only the read only, not user cannot write anything in that control. Next is the placeholder attribute, where you can provide the hint for the user using the placeholder attribute. Next is the required attribute, is a boolean attribute, where user have to enter anything. If user not entered any value and just click on the submit button, then it shows the error. That is the use of the required attribute. Next is the autocomplete. So what is autocomplete? Whenever you typed or whenever user type, it already provide the help. It's called the autocomplete attribute. I already discussed. Next is the autofocus attribute, where user can set the focus on whenever whatever control they want, right? Here we set the focused on the first name text box which is followed by the first name heading. Next is the multiple attribute. Multiple attribute is nothing but which is used to provide a selection for the number of files or number of so it is nothing but the multiple attribute. We can take a file control, and in that we can select number of files. We already discussed, and if students you learn all those programs I have told you or I given you in the notes, then you definitely know what is the output and what is the use of those attributes and those controls, right? And next, more important attributes also, id and class, where id is most of the time id is used in the javascript, and class is used for the css purpose. Now what is the css we will learn now. So this is one more example. This is example of your book, I guess. So students, you have to mention all the notes. I repeated again and again. Please maintain your notebook. This is the time where you have to make a notes. Afterwards you didn't get any time. This is a lockdown period, and this is a very I say this is very useful for you, and you can do study betterly in lockdown, because there is no lectures, no classes, and there are lots of time for you for revision, for your notes completion. Okay, so please be prepared, and Today we learn about the CSS, that is nothing but the cascading style sheet. CSS is nothing but the cascading style sheet which is used for decorative purpose. Means you have to using CSS you can using CSS you can set the font color and background color and all those things very effectively. That's why we use the CSS. So in exam I think CSS is very important for your exam. So what is the CSS full form? It is nothing but the cascading style sheet. So CSS describes how HTML elements are to be displayed on the screen, paper or in other media. It saves a lot of work. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. CSS allows you to control the look and feel of several pages by changing a single source. So what is the meaning of that? CSS have main three types. So main type or the type which is used in many companies and many peoples is the external CSS, where you can set all the CSS or you can write all the CSS in one different file, in separate file, and that extension of that file is the .css, and that file is merged with your HTML file, right? And whenever whatever changes you have to make in your code, you have to open that CSS file and just update your file, and just whatever changes you have to change, you can change in that file, and automatically all the changes are applied in your HTML file also. So that is the benefit. And that external CSS file you can apply on different HTML pages also. Means using a single file you can decorate your number of web pages, number of HTML pages also. In companies they also use you can also use the external CSS फाइल. अगर आपने देखा होगा कि कोई भी अगर आप वेबसाइट देखते हो तो हर वेबसाइट का जो लेआउट रहता है, जो बैकग्राउंड रहता है, जो फॉन्ट रहते हैं, फॉन्ट का साइज़ रहता है, उसका बैकग्राउंड का कलर रहता है, उसके कंट्रोल्स का कलर रहता है, उसके इमेजेस की जो साइज़ है, ये जो छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं वो सब वो मेंशन करते हैं इन एक्सटर्नल फाइल. और वो एक्सटर्नल फाइल वो हर पेजेस पे अप्लाई करेंगे तो उनके हर पेजेस का जो भी कोई लेआउट है, जो भी कोई डिज़ाइन है, वो कैसे रहेगा, सेम. दैट इज़ द मेन यूज़ ऑफ द CSS स्टूडेंट. ओके, सो हियर CSS टाइप्स. First one is the inline, second one is the embedded or internal, and third one is the external. So if you want to change, or if you want different style for your different pages, that time you use the inline or internal CSS. But if you want a same layout for your all the files or your website or your different web pages of your website, that time you have to use external CSS. Got it everyone? समझ में आ रहा है? यानी अगर आपको ऐसे चाहिए कि मेरे वेबसाइट में हर पेज का जो लेआउट है वो डिफरेंट होना चाहिए, वैसे तो होता नहीं है, लेकिन अगर किसी का चॉइस है, अगर उसको ऐसे चाहिए कि मुझे मेरे वेबसाइट में जो भी कोई वेब पेजेस है उसमें मेरा जो लेआउट रहेगा, जो डिज़ाइन रहेगी वो डिफरेंट रहेगी, दैट टाइम आई मेंशन और you can use the inline or internal CSS. बट अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि मेरे हर पेजेस जो मेरी वेबसाइट है उसके इसमें हर जो भी पेजेस है उसका जो लेआउट है वो सेम होना चाहिए, दैट टाइम आई प्रेफर और एवरीवन प्रेफर द एक्सटर्नल CSS. ओके, internal CSS also called as the embedded CSS. Okay, so inline means जहाँ पे आपको स्टाइल प्रोवाइड करनी in the tag you directly define the style tag and directly write down the style. Okay, and what is the internal? In internal you have to write down your CSS tags in style, in between the style tag, and that style tag you have to write down in the HTML tag. we हम वो आगे चल के देखने वाले कि हम वो कैसे लिखते हैं. सो दैट इज़ द मेन डिफरेंस. एंड एक्सटर्नल CSS I already told you, you have to maintain or you have to create a different .css file, and in that you have to write down all the code, CSS code, and that file you have to merge or you have to link in your HTML file, and how we will definitely see. Okay, so this is the syntax, that is the main syntax, where you can see h1 is the tag where I have to set the style. In h1 you have to mention the color yellow, right, and font size of that h1 is the 11 px, means 11 pixel. So here h1 is nothing but the tag, or you can say it is nothing but the selector, and color is nothing but the property, and yellow is nothing but the value, right. You have to mention all those things in between the curly bracket. So what is the syntax? First you have to write down the tag, or it's also called the selector, and after the tag you have to mention the curly bracket, and in that curly bracket whatever CSS you have to apply, you have to write down in between that curly bracket, right. Here on h1 we applied here two CSS property. First one is the color and second one is the font size. So color is the property and yellow is the value, and that property and value is differentiate between the using the colon. You can see here the property and value के बीच में हमने यहाँ पे colon लिखा है. You can also see here the font size and colon after that 11px. So property and value के बीच में compulsory we have to write down the colon, and between two properties you have to mention the semicolon. Okay, and if you want to apply more CSS on h1 you can simply add semicolon and write down the property. So this part means that curly bracket, between the curly bracket is called the declaration block, and this is the selector. h1 is the selector, and followed by h1 you can see there this is nothing but the declaration block. So selector, it indicates the HTML element you want to style. It could be any tag like h1 body etc. ओके, जिस टैग को आपको CSS अप्लाई करना है वो जो भी है उसको कहा जाता है सिलेक्टर, एंड दैट्स इट. नेक्स्ट इज नथिंग बट द डिक्लेरेशन ब्लॉक. डिक्लेरेशन ब्लॉक, it can contain one or more declaration separated by a semicolon. Just I told you, for the above example there are two main declaration part. First one is the color and second one is the font size. Each declaration contains a property name and the value separated by the colon. Just I told you, property is a type of attribute of HTML element. It could be, right, or value is nothing but the value which assigned to the CSS property. In the above example, yellow is assigned to the color property. So everyone know about the property and the selector. So just I repeated, CSS syntax is nothing but the selector, means nothing but the tag or HTML element followed by curly bracket, and in that we have to write down the declaration part, and in that declaration part you have to mention the property and value. Huh? And if you want explain more than one property, that time you have to mention the semicolon, and that's it. So CSS is nothing but the cascading style sheet which is used to decorate your page. And CSS has main three types. One is the inline, second is the internal, also called the embedded, and third one is the external. So inline is right down in the tag line also, and internal is mentioned in the style between the style tag, and that style tag also write down in the head part, not in the body part. Inline CSS mentioned in the body part, and internal is mentioned in the or write down in the head part. And external is nothing but the make a separate .css file and make and link that .css file to your HTML file. So we can see, now we will see inline CSS. What is the inline CSS? Is used to apply CSS on a single line or a element. Okay, for example, you can see here body part, right? We apply style on the body, right? In the body style, background color colon equal to green. अगर आपको बैकग्राउंड कलर सेट करना है, वी डायरेक्टली राइट डाउन द बॉडी बीजी कलर इक्वल टू ग्रीन. हमने अब तक ऐसे देखा है. लेकिन if you want to apply a style, if you want to apply a CSS on the body, then you have to write it like that. This is nothing but the inline CSS. You can see this is right on a single line in a HTML element, right? Body is the HTML element, or you can say it is the selector. Next is the style, or what background color, background dash color is the property of the CSS, and green is the value which separated by the colon, right? And this property is write down in the double quote compulsory. Okay, so here is the output. You can see the background color will be the green. Next is the H1. We also apply the style on the H1. Here H1 is the selector. Style में हमने लिखा है style equal to color equal to blue. So you can see here the color is changed. Okay, next style is apply on the paragraph. P style equal to color equal to red. So color is changed. So you can see here this is the inline CSS. Okay, and same output I want. If I want same output using the internal CSS, then what will be the coding? Okay, internal CSS also called as the embedded style sheet. So used to apply CSS on a single document or a page. It can affect all the element of the page. Okay, means inline is used for single line only, and internal is used for whole the page, right? Or a single page. So here you can see, I already told you, you have to write down the CSS block in the style, and that style also we have to mention in the head part. In the head I write down here style, and see here students, बैकग्राउंड कलर पाउडर ब्लू किया है मैंने यहाँ पे, वो गलती से हो गया, वहाँ पे ग्रीन चाहिए. देन H1 body, H1 and P, these three are the selector, and these three are nothing but the declaration block. And body, I said the background color green, H1 color blue, and P color red, and then style tag complete and a head tag complete. And in body part you have to mention H1 and P as it is. nothing change in the body part. You have to mention the CSS in only in the head part. That is the main difference between the inline and internal. So in internal inline you have to mention the CSS in the single line only, in that HTML tag also, in that HTML tag only. And for internal and embedded style sheet you have to mention that CSS in the style, between the style tag, and that style tag you have to mention in the head part, and body part is not changing at all. Next is the external style sheet. Okay, so this is very powerful CSS, I can say. So the external style sheet is generally used when you want to make changes on multiple pages, right? Just as you told you, inline for a single line, internal for a single page, and external for a multiple pages. That is the main difference between the three CSS. It facilitates to change the look of the entire website by changing just one file. मीन्स आप आपके पूरे वेबसाइट का जो लुक है वो एक सिंगल लाइन में चेंज करके कर सकते हो. दैट इज़ वेरी यूजफुल. इट यूजेज द लिंक टैग ऑन एवरी पेज एंड द लिंक टैग शुड बी पुट इनसाइड द हेड सेक्शन. We will see in our example, then you can get the clear idea. An external style sheet can be written in any text editor and must be saved with a .css extension. यानी मैंने जैसे आपको अभी बताया कि आप कोई भी एडिटर यूज़ करके एक .css फाइल बना दो और वो आपके HTML फाइल से लिंक कर दो, और वो जो लिंक करते हो वो आप कहाँ पे करोगे, इन द हेड पार्ट. The external CSS file should not contain any HTML tag. ओके, एंड जो .css आप बनाओगे वहाँ पे सिर्फ आप जो मैंने सिंटैक्स बताया CSS का, सिर्फ वही आपको मेंशन करना है. यू डोंट हैव टू राइट डाउन द HTML tags, like means HTML head, title, body. You don't have to mention that the basic structure of the HTML. You have to write down the only the syntax of the CSS, which I already told you. So see here, first, for example, first you have to create the external .css file. That is the CSS file, that is name is the external. I gave that name for that file. Then don't write HTML tag here. I'm not mention any HTML tag, and you have to write down only these 3 lines in that, so we can get same output, same, right? सेम जैसे हमने इनलाइन और इंटरनल में जो भी हमने लिखा है वही प्रॉपर्टीज हमें अप्लाई करना है ऑन द बॉडी H1 एंड P टैग. यू कैन सी हियर इन external.css I write down the body background color green, H1 color blue and P color red. That's it. So this is my external.css file, and that file I link with the external.html file. This is my external.html file. Students, just be careful that extension of those files are different. That is the .css and that is external.html file. So in that HTML file, in the head part I write down the link. See here, यहाँ पे मैं अभी मर्ज करने जा रही हूँ, वो लिंक करने जा रही हूँ external.css. फॉर दैट आई यूज द लिंक एट टैग. लिंक इज द टैग. वहाँ पे आई राइट डाउन द REL मीन्स रिलेशनशिप क्या है, इक्वल टू स्टाइल शीट. तो जो फाइल मैं लिंक करने जा रही हूँ उससे हमारा रिलेशन क्या है, वो स्टाइल शीट है, राइट. व्हाट इज द टाइप ऑफ दैट फाइल, टेक्स्ट ऑब्लिक CSS मीन्स हमने टेक्स्ट एडिटर यूज़ करके उसको यूज़ किया है, और उसका एक्सटेंशन क्या है, व्हाट इज द CSS, right. And href is nothing but the path of that image, external.css. So head is the complete, and write down all the body part as it is. ठीक है. And students, if I want to if I link that external.css file to number of or multiple files, HTML files. And if I want to change if I want to change the background color of the my website, मीन्स मेरी वेबसाइट में अगर 50 पेजेस है और उसके बैकग्राउंड का कलर ग्रीन है, क्योंकि मैंने सारे 50 पेजेस को लिंक कर दिया है, वो मेरी डॉट सी एस एस फाइल है। और अगर मुझे मेरे बैकग्राउंड का जो कलर है वो अगर मुझे चेंज करना है, देन आई जस्ट ओपन द डॉट सी एस एस फाइल, एंड इन दैट सी एस एस फाइल आई जस्ट चेंज वन सिंगल लाइन, that is the background color equal to, if I take a aqua, then I just write down the background color equal to aqua, और वो जो 50 फाइल्स है उसमें मेरे सारे इसमें वो aqua कलर चेंज हो जाएगा। बट इफ़ आई टेक इंटरनल CSS, तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, वो 50 पेजेस ओपन करके उसमें 50 लाइन्स मुझे चेंज करने पड़ेंगे। दैट इज़ द मेन एडवांटेज ऑफ द एक्सटर्नल CSS। तो आई गेस आपको इंटरनल, एक्सटर्नल, इनलाइन CSS के बारे में अच्छे से समझ में आया होगा। एंड स्टूडेंट्स प्लीज़ मेक अ नोट्स, आई रिपीटेड वंस अगेन। एंड जैसे हमारा ये CSS का पार्ट कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, we will take a small test, and I also give you the assignments on those topics. Okay, so जैसे ही आपका ये लॉकडाउन ख़त्म हो जाता है, सबसे पहले मैं आपके नोट्स चेक करने वाली हूँ। सो प्लीज़ प्रिपेयर योर नोट्स। ओके, यही टाइम है कि आप नोट्स बना सकते हो। अगर आपका टाइम ये चला गया हाथ से, तो आपका नोट्स बनाने के लिए भी टाइम नहीं रहेगा। दिस इज़ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट टाइम फॉर यू, सो प्लीज़ मेक अ नोट्स एंड बी सीरियस फॉर योर स्टडीज़। 11th हो चुका है, एंड जो भी स्टूडेंट्स फेल हो गए वो भी, उनको भी कुछ घबराने की ज़रूरत है नहीं। आफ्टरवर्ड्स वी विल टेक योर एग्ज़ाम, एंड डोंट वरी, जस्ट डू योर स्टडी, गिव योर बेस्ट, be with you. Okay, so good luck and bye.